Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, what it do? It's your girl Ki-yuh in this thing, and today I am giving y'all a little story time, but it's like gonna be a whole bunch of little story times just about my experiences living in a college dorm. I lived in my dorm in Denver when I went to JWU Denver. It was an experience, to say the least. It wasn't all bad. It was a pretty decent dorm. It was just a mixture of a lot of things. I'll just say that made the experience, like, I'm traumatized, but not traumatized, but I am traumatized, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. But the first thing that I'm going to start off by telling you guys about is something that happened probably like a month or two after I moved into my dorm as a freshman back in 2019. I think it happened in like October or something, and I have footage. So I was friends with my suite mate. So the suite mate is the person who I shared my bathroom with, and then I had a roommate in my room. And my suite mate, it was just her. So in my bathroom, we had a toilet, and then we had the bathtub, and then that was it. And then in the ceiling, we had this vent like right above the toilet. I figured was for like releasing the nasty air, the dirty air. So, and the steam, of course. So yeah, and you're gonna see it in the video. So I am asleep, minding my business, and me and my roommate, we're gonna call her Lip Gloss. We were knocked out. And we had a lock on our bathroom door to keep the other people from the other side out, but we never really felt like locking it. We didn't see the point because I was friends with the shorty that was our suite mate. So I was like, we never discussed it, but we just never locked it either. Except for like when we went out of town and stuff. We're asleep, and I woke up. It was like 3 in the morning, and I saw my friend, and I was like, I'm tripping. So I just turned over, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not tripping. I think I saw her, and I think she was calling my name, which is what woke me up. And so then I ended up getting up, and I was like, why is she in the room? Like, that's weird, you know, that's a little weird. Why would she come over to our room? So, well, at least she hadn't came through the bathroom. That's not something she would do. If she wanted to see me, she would come knock on the door. So I get up and I go look and see what she wants. And the bathroom is flooded, like actually flooded, and it was about to start flowing into our room. And I don't know if it has started flowing into her room. It turns out that there was water leaking from the people above us. We were on the 5th floor, and there were only 6 floors total. So it had to be water from the people above us. So we ended up investigating, taking a look, trying to see where the water was coming from, how much of the water there was in there, and then if the water was dirty, like, because, you know, that's sanitation. That's a sanitation issue as well. So what happened was, well, we still don't really know what happened, but I took a video and I took pictures, and I immediately, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was not playing any games because she was like, what should we do? And I'm like, girl, we need to contact maintenance. What do you mean? This is even a question. And they were literally there by the next morning. They were like, yeah, we saw your video. We were really shocked and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we were too. Like, what do you mean? They like did something in our bathroom, and then they never came back. And so I went to whoever was in charge of residential life, and I was like, you guys came and my bathroom was flooded, but y'all didn't clean the bathroom. Like, that's gross. We shouldn't have to clean up after something that's like an issue with the building, you know? Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that was one of our issues. And then we had another issue with a gas leak. So yes, the story keeps going. The next thing that we had to deal with happened right before Thanksgiving break. Yep, right before. We had to leave, go out of town. Well, we didn't have to leave, but like right before everyone was getting ready to go back home, we had a gas leak in our building. I think it was a gas leak. It was something, I'm pretty sure it was gas. And it didn't seem like it ever got fixed, to be honest. They did have like some tape around it, some caution tape where it looked like they were fixing it, but the tape was never gone. It stayed there basically up until I left campus in 2020. If that gives you some context. This happened in 2019, November of 2019. So we get an email and they're like, oh, you guys have a gas leak in your building. You're going to have to move to the other freshman dorms. Most of the freshmen lived in only 2 buildings, but more of them were placed in my building because that's where they, well, I don't know why, but that's where they had all of us. Like all 6 floors were filled. So I'm on the 5th floor. The 4th through the 6th floor had to move to one of the other freshman buildings, and then the lower floors moved to one of the upperclassmen. Or like, it was just an empty building, basically. They moved to that building because there were no students staying in there. And we had to do this within like 24 hours. It was awful. So they were like, just take most of your stuff or what you think you'll need. And then they told us if we needed to go back, then we just had to let someone know that we forgot something. So that was really annoying and very inconvenient. And a lot of this stuff is minor inconveniences and like first world problems. I understand that, but I just feel like this isn't something that I should have had to go through as a college freshman, okay? Especially being in a new state, in a new environment, meeting new people. Like, you at least expect where you're living to be a decent living situation. But with that being said, after all of that happened, we were told that we could move back in to our dorms after the break, I think, sometime after Thanksgiving break. So I ended up going back, and some people got to stay in the dorms that they were assigned for temporary. Some people were just like, hey, I want to stay here, and they got to stay. So that was nice, I guess, for them. Everything is just flooding back. Oh my gosh, I keep adding more stuff to the list. So also, I think this happened in 2019. We had our fire alarms go off. There was no fire, but the fire alarms went off 3 or 4 times in one night because the alarm system was playing games. Literally, there was no fire in the building. It just wanted to keep going off. The firefighters, it got to a point where they just had to just stay and figure it out. And then they just stopped coming. And then they were like, all right, you guys, y'all could just not come back down, I guess. I don't know. And that was a scary situation as well because I was asleep. It was late at night. And my roommate, she was like, oh, Kaya, the fire alarm's going off. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like grabbing my phone and I just go downstairs. Everyone is literally looking crazy. It had to be. I also have footage of this. And then it lasted all the way up until 5, which sucked because I am a culinary student. Well, I was a culinary student. So our labs started at 7. And I usually woke up a bit early so that I could get to class at 6:45. I would usually wake up at 5:45. So it got so late to where the alarms kept going off and going off and going off to a point where it was like 5:50. And I was like, okay, I might as well just stay up, and that's that. Like, I just didn't get any sleep that night. So yes, that sucked for me. That added to the list. I just kept adding stuff on there. I was like, this is reason number 5,000 why I should not live. And then the next thing I would like to discuss is the fact that I think me and my roommate and my suite mate went a few months without hot water. And then the weird thing is I went through this in my dorm that I had last summer too. I didn't have hot water, and I'm just like, or it just took a while to kick in. So the hot water was another issue. They had to fix that, and I think I ended up complaining about it because I was like, our water, it just didn't get as hot as it should, like, you know, as hot as you want your shower to be. So that really sucked. And the reason why I would probably never want, at least want a roommate, unless I absolutely need a roommate in the future, I don't think I will want a roommate, because my roommate was super, I want to say passive aggressive, which I can be passive aggressive. I know I am, not I can be. But yeah, I can be. She would like have a problem with me, like I had an oil diffuser. Honestly, I don't think that was allowed, but that's besides the point. I had that. She said that it irritated her, so I stopped using it. Or if I did use it, I use lighter scents. And then my roommate also had a pet, and I agreed to the pet prior to moving. I tried to change it last minute because I didn't know about the upkeep of her pet. Now, I don't know if this is poo or food, but either way, it was gross, and I have been telling myself that it is food. I can't even talk because I'm looking back at these pictures and getting disgusted. But our room, at least her side, was always dirty. We had a itty bitty sink. Her dishes were always left at the sink and always dirty. It was gross. Like, I would be brushing my teeth and smell the food coming off of her dishes. You know, that's nasty. That is nasty. I hated it. I stayed. Yep. I feel like I am, yeah, I stayed. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. And then it was just little cleanliness things that I didn't like. I don't know what to tell y'all. But yeah, if you are living in a dorm, make sure it's a good one. Make sure that if you have a roommate, you have a good one. Someone you can trust, someone you can talk to easily, someone where you guys can agree on what your expectations are. There we go. That is the word. You need a roommate that you can agree on expectations with. That is my advice going into this upcoming year. Shout out to any freshmen that are going to college. I hope you guys have a great year. Hope you guys enjoy your dorms. I will not be living in a dorm. I will not be having a roommate. I don't want none of that at all. I know, like, you can have bad experiences as far as roommates go, but I've never heard someone have such a bad experience with just the dorm itself, you know? That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got some insight. I hope you enjoyed the footage, because your girl is coming with receipts, okay? Receipts. Because this stuff really did happen. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments about, like, living with a roommate or how to deal with certain situations, I can help you out. I can try. I don't know if I will be a lot of help, but I could try to help. And I can give you guys some, I think, decent advice. If anything, my best advice would be to get a single room if you can afford it. If you have to get a dorm, well, I don't know, some campuses are different. My campus, our room, it was just one room. Some people get like the apartment style dorms. I didn't have that option. So if you can explore other options, I say go for it. And if you can afford it, because I know that if you have that opportunity, you usually have to pay more or something like that. I don't know about all of that. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below anything you want. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow my social medias if you like to see more of my beautiful face. And deuces.